Before we check on the markets in the region, of course, it is Nelson Mandela's birthday today, and as leaders across the world send best wishes to former South African President Nelson Mandela on his 95th birthday today, I caught up with former President Olusegun Obasanjo as he reflected on the African leadership icon who remains critically ill in a Johannesburg hospital. President Obasanjo started by sending a birthday greeting to the man widely hailed as Madiba.
I was allowed to meet Nelson Mandela in Portsmouth prison. That day I was driven by the head of the prison to Portsmouth, and we were received in the officers' mess of the prison, and after some time I was taken to where specially prepared to receive me. Nelson, I got in. As I got in, Nelson came in, and his figure was unmistakable. But the first thing that struck me was that he was wearing a belt with ANC color, which is defiance, as far as I could see, is also an indication of who he is and what he is. And we got on talking. The first thing we did between ourselves is to indicate, without saying a word by sign, that the room we were in must have been heavily bugged. We both took note of that. So he used the opportunity, therefore, to say things that, or send message to his tormentor, his jailer. And of course, he used the opportunity, of course, also to say things that I could take along, or could take away to the members of Eminent Person Group, to his own colleagues out there, and to even members of that are not members of ANC, like Buthelezi. And I delivered all the messages faithfully.
What strikes you most about the man, Nelson Mandela?
I've always known him as firm, to the point. He knows what he wants, and he puts it across as he wants it, clear. And that, of course, you will see in everything in his life. What he does not want, you cannot make him to have it. And what he wants, you cannot prevent him from having it. That is one thing that you see in him, your interaction with him. And he was fond of me. He used to address me Olu. And of course, I have tremendous regard for him. I believe that one good thing that God did for South Africa was that Nelson Mandela was there to get South Africa through that transition. Otherwise, it could have been messy either way.
He certainly is an icon of reconciliation, justice, and democracy. So what would you say are the big lessons for African leaders from the experience that you've had one-on-one with Nelson Mandela, and then, of course, from what we've all observed from him?
Whatever may be your situation in life, remember one thing, that God allows it to happen, and God can correct any injustice. Nelson Mandela was the epitome for many, many years, for almost 3 decades. And because of him, apartheid was raging, but it was not able to take firm root. If Nelson Mandela had not been there, people will have, internationally will have forgotten about the evil of apartheid. And apartheid could have taken root or could even have been in existence till today. But Nelson Mandela was an epitome, a symbol of that pernicious evil, apartheid. He stood against it, and he was seen as a man against that evil. And that was how the evil was able to be terminated.